Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories. Supreme Court acquits Senate President Bukola Saraki of all charges bordering on false declaration of assets. Saraki hails Apex Court's verdict, says that he's been vindicated. Former Benue State Governor Suswam gets bail in the sum of 500 million naira after federal government arraigned him on illegal possession of firearms and money laundering charges. President Muhammadu Buhari blames disgruntled politicians for some of the killings across the country, pledges continued support for officers and men of the Nigerian army. An ex-Navy diver dies during efforts to rescue 12 boys and their coach trapped in flooded caves in Thailand. ChannelsTV.com has more information for you, and in YouTube.com/channelsweb you can watch our videos. You can also watch us on your mobile device via your browser or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. Besides giving you access to news and updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app have an eyewitness feature that you can use to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Ibrahim Idris, promises to leave no stone unturned until the perpetrators of the recent killings in Plateau State are brought to justice. The IGP offered this assurance at the Southeast Security Summit organized by the Nigerian Police Force in Owerri, the Imo State capital. Mr. Idris says that the Security Summit is apt and timely as it conforms with earlier summits which sought to articulate strategies to tackle the different security challenges confronting the nation. The focus of the summit is community policing, rethinking national security framework and national development.
The demand for better security of lives and property in the southeast brought together this gathering of traditional rulers, political leaders, service chiefs and Imo indigenes as the state hosts a security meeting to tackle crime in the region. Concerns over the recent security challenges across the country and the possibility of spillovers is the reason why the summit's agenda is focusing on ways to restructure the national security framework.
The very vital, important part of our constitution, for which we are all sworn into, is the responsibility to protect lives and property. And this is why we are here to rub minds and dramatize the urgency of now to set this nation. President Muhammad Buhari, our commander-in-chief, all the governors and all those of us in leadership, including the IG and other service chiefs, must take responsibility. It is our duty to assure Nigerians that we have taken responsibility and we shall make every effort to save lives and property. This language must be the new language of leaders, rather than engaging a cyclical blend of responsibilities. We have blamed ourselves enough, and we have blamed each other.
It seems a security subject that cannot be wished away is community policing. Those advocating for it believe it will aid security agencies to reach more areas to combat crime.
Let's come together, take together, and articulate ideas on how better to protect our lives and property. Like the IG said, the police cannot do it alone. The army cannot do it alone. No security agency almost the country can do it by themselves. It requires collective contribution.
It may be a southeast meeting, but violence across the country, especially in the north, is also up for discussion. The Inspector General of Police is confident that those behind the killings will face the law.
Insult, armed robbery, kidnapping, cattle rustling and militancy. The truth, however, is that these responsibilities cannot be effectively performed with the police, by the police, without the input and collaboration of the people we protect. This is in simple terms, community policing.
This meeting is coming at a crucial time when the country is grappling with expanding security challenges. The Nigerian police force hopes to use it to boost its partnership with other security agencies and members of the public to bring perpetrators of crime to book.
You're watching the news at 10 live from Lagos. Let's quickly switch over to our Abuja studios now, where Ibrahim Adra is standing by for more on the news. Ibrahim.
Hello, Gimba. We're still staying with the police. The Federal Capital Territory Police Command has announced the arrest and dismissal of Inspector Benjamin Peter, who allegedly killed a National Youth Service Corps member, Angela Igwetu, in Abuja. Addressing news conference in Abuja, the FCT Commissioner of Police, Sadiq Bello, disclosed that necessary disciplinary procedures have been concluded, leading to the dismissal of the suspect, Inspector Benjamin Peter, from the force. Mr. Bello adds that the suspect will be arraigned before a court of competent jurisdiction and is currently on remand awaiting trial.
So if I make mistake, you have to the policeman that opened fire has been arrested. Necessary disciplinary procedures have been concluded. He has been dismissed from the force and arraigned before a court of competent jurisdiction, and he is currently on remand awaiting commencement of trial. I'm appealing for calm and understanding from members of the public, particularly the family of the deceased, that at the end of the day, justice will be done in this matter. The Nigeria Police FCT Command does not condone acts of irresponsibility and incivility or outright criminality on part of its officers and men. They have always been admonished to be civil to members of the public and be professional in the conduct of their duties. Furthermore, I wish to assure residents of the FCT that they should go about their lawful business without fear of molestation or harassment. Their peace and security is guaranteed at all times. However, I wish to appeal to them to help the police by availing us with necessary information that could lead to the arrest of criminals in the territory.
Africa needs to review the high cost of transportation on the continent to be able to achieve integrated trade. This is the position of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, at the opening of the Sub-Sahel Africa Transport Policy meeting in Abuja. Mr. Mustafa, who spoke on behalf of the Vice President, Professor Emil Shibajo, urged ministers of transport from the continent to synergize their operations to develop an effective transport system. He added that the federal government has signed a treaty to reduce fuel emissions and ensure clean air in the nation's transport system.
We have also, as a country, realized the need to fast-track the implementation of all the transport-related treaties, conventions, protocols, and agreements that have been signed. We are working with the United Nations agencies and our transport, environment, and petroleum ministries to promote clean air and curtail fuel emissions from vehicles, and have also signed the 1968 Convention on road signs and signals to ensure safe roads for users. However, in all these achievements, I would like to draw your attention to the following facts. Africa transport costs are high, and the continent needs to be better integrated for trade and economic growth. 2, the rate of debt is also too high, despite the small vehicle fleet relative to the rest of the world.
Now, 400 women have taken part in the second edition of the Flourish Africa Conference 2018, convened by one of the richest women in Africa and Executive Vice Chairman of Fanfa Oil Limited, Mrs. Folorunsho Alakija. The event, which held in Lagos, had women who have distinguished themselves in various fields of endeavor as speakers, including Dr. Ola Brown, founder of the Flying Doctors Nigeria, who delivered the keynote address. Drawing strength from personal experiences, they threw light on the theme of the conference, Breaking Through.
These are participants at this year's Flourish Africa Conference undergoing registration at the Civic Center in Lagos. For many of these women, it's a lifetime opportunity to be mentored and inspired by some of Africa's great women who are lined up as speakers at this conference. 200 women participated in the inaugural edition, but today it's double that figure, 400. This, according to the convener, one of Africa's richest women and executive vice chairman of Fanfa Oil Limited, Mrs. Folonsho Alakija, is to demonstrate the need for more women to break new grounds.
We are here to break through. Nothing is going to hinder us. Nothing is going to delay us. Nothing is going to debar us. Nothing is going to deny us of where we need to be, especially where God wants us to be.
Dr. Ola Brown, founder of West Africa's first indigenous air ambulance service, the Flying Doctor, is the keynote speaker. She addresses the need for women to grow their passion effectively.
I'm sure that all of you studied different subjects in school. Some of you studied different subjects in university. But being an expert in the discipline of what you do does not make you an expert in the business of what you do.
Other speakers, including Mrs. Inia Bimbola, Mrs. Mavi Sibo, Mrs. Catherine Ifejika, take turns to discuss values that could ensure a woman emerges successfully in spite of limitations, one of which is personal branding.
I don't want to see something that the car dragged in and then you present me a certificate that says first class. That is just paper. Show me first class.
For everything that you have, there must be a level of diligence. And when people see how diligent you are, they will be able to help you, take you to the next level that you need to be.
The right attitude is that for you to ask for that space, it takes a lot of guts, it takes a lot of commitment, and above all, focusedness.
I'm an attorney by profession.
Participants share their experience drawn from the inaugural edition. At the close of the day, it was expectation met and a time well spent for many of them who now look forward to the next edition.
I must say their experiences and their stories have taught me a lot.
Hearing experiences from other powerful women, it was just such an amazing time, and of course I'll be here next year.
This year's theme, Breaking Through, is very significant to the convener, and she tells us why.
Last year, it was igniting a movement of game changers. This year, it's breaking through our barriers, breaking through stereotypes, breaking through blockades, breaking through limitation. And it is in our togetherness that next year and every year by His grace that will continue to double the number of participants.
Flourish Africa is a women empowerment movement designed to help women all over the world achieve their fullest potential and become what God created them to be. For now, the conversation continues on www.flourishafrica.com. Chris Ilems, Channels Television News.
Many thanks indeed, Chris. And that's it from Abuja. Gimba takes over in our Lagos studio.
Brilliant. Many thanks indeed, Ibrahim. A true model for Africa is how the French President Emmanuel Macron describes telecoms magnate Mike Adenuga. The commendation was expressed by Mr. Macron in Lagos on Wednesday, where he conferred France's highest national honor, called the Commander of the Legion of Honor, on the Globacom chairman. The award was presented at the inauguration of the new Alliance Française Mike Adenuga Center in Lagos. Some of the dignitaries that graced the occasion include the Lagos State Governor, Akinwumi Ambode, and Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka. Top government officials, members of the diplomatic corps, and key players in the private sector were also in attendance. The French president commended Dr. Adenuga on his promotion of the French language and culture in Nigeria and applauded Dr. Adenuga's daughter, Bella Disu, who conceived, coordinated and executed the Alliance Française project.
To honor Dr. Mike Adenuga, because he embodies the qualities that give its strength to Nigeria. You definitely are a role model for a lot of African entrepreneurs, for a lot of young Nigerians thinking about the future. Thank you very much for your commitment to the promotion of French language, French culture in Nigeria, and I'm sure the next time I will meet you in France, your French will be outstanding. Thanks to and I'm very happy now to give you this honor from the French Republic. Mike Adenuga, au nom de la République française, nous vous faisons commandeur de la Légion d'honneur. Merci.
A jolly, warm president of France. When the News at 10 returns, analysts forecast further drop in Nigeria's inflation figure in June ahead of the NBS report next week. That's in business news. Stay with us.